What's going on, y'all? VNNCZ3 here, and I'm so glad you stopped by. That's right, you Malakis. No one but you to spend some of your quality time to hang out with me today because we are going to be talking about how to absolutely beast bigger guilds. This is like a step-by-step process. Now, granted, guys, you got to understand that it's going to take you a little bit of effort on your end, right? This does not come overnight, right? There's a lot of guilds are like, I just need a war strategy. I just need a war strategy. I promise you, that's all I need. If you need a war strategy for your guild to actually beat somebody, I'm letting you know right now, that's not what you need. You actually need practice. And what I mean by that is uniformity, unity, guys. So check this out, right? I got an 8-step program that will absolutely ship your guild and make it into tip-top shape, all that good stuff, man. So just, let's go ahead and get into it, right? So, number one, right? Always protect your investments. That means fake rally, shelter, and ship off any of your resources your vault cannot protect. Meaning, I've hit so many people during, like, any kind of war scenes that simply had, I don't know, like 20 million gold on them. Bro, you can only hold 2.8 million unless you have other resources. So ship your resources off, fam. Just ship them off. There's no reason to have them. There's legitimately not a single good enough reason to support your enemy, okay? Because that's what you're doing by giving them those resources. You're supporting their cause, right? So that's a big thing a lot of guys don't get in the habit of doing because you see it all the time. People get zeroed on a daily basis because they don't follow the number one rule. Protect yourself at all costs. It's literally the biggest one everybody fucks up on, right? Number two, it sounds dumb. People say it's dumb, but they don't do it. How about run drills on Darkness just so you guys can get troop compositions up? For instance, if I was to lead a rally right now against this level 5 on my main, and I said, hey, I need 20, 30, 40 infantry cav ranged, and then somebody sends me siege, that's all I'm saying. They immediately get kicked out of that. Like, they usually get G-kicked, and then they get invited after we do the Darkness, right? Because those players don't know how to read either guild chat, or they just don't care. And when rally leaders call for a specific troop type, they literally mean they need that troop type, and that's all they need, okay? So practice, practice, practice makes perfect, guys. It absolutely does. Also, brings me up to number 3. Always join rallies. When your rally leaders, R4s, whoever they are, whenever they call for a rally and a rally is started, y'all need to join it. Fill it up. Because there's so many things that go bad when you guys simply don't. I understand. I'm shielded. I just popped a shield. Oh, no. Okay. 9 times out of 10, when somebody says, fill the rally or join the rally, it's on a big target player. Big threat, meaning they don't have their leader and they're 500 million might or whatever the case may be. Like recently, here in OOC, we had somebody at over 600 million might not have their leader, and we tried to, but people got scared. They didn't want to lose troops. And so I'm letting you guys know, when you don't fill rallies, 2 things happen. One, either you lose a huge opportunity to zero a very big money target, a big threat, or 2, you end up getting caused more damage back, right? Because those players that filled the rally, if your rally's not full, they have to cancel the rally, meaning they're not defending. Now your opponent's on the offense, right? They're not defending your attack, they're on the offense. So they cancel the rally. Now guess what? All their dudes are going to hit all your dudes on the way back because they know you guys are fucking pussy, right? They know you're scared. And so why not go on the offensive at that time? And it just absolutely breaks your morale, guys. That's the other part too. You guys need to practice doing that. I notice a lot of times when I see a lot of guys do rallies and stuff, they simply don't hit the enemy's marches on the way back. Meaning, if they don't have any troops, their lower might players don't have any troops, bros, they can't fill a rally. It's simple as that. And it's usually the really low might guys, like 20 or 30 million, that are sending in 200k troops to fill their rallies, right? And so most of the players don't understand that if they relocate to that player, first off, they can't teleport away. Their troops are on the march back, right? And second off, if you time your marches to go up, and I've done this so many times live on my main account, time your marches up, and boom, get that 0, bros. Get that 0. And then your enemies cannot rally you anymore. They have to stop because they can't fill it anymore. Otherwise, they're taking too many losses, right? So guys, look. you guys need to do yourself a big favor on this big step, right? This is probably one of the largest steps. Don't be fucking stingy with your troops! You build them to kill them. Only reason you make troops. The whole, I build them to defend myself, shit is invalid as fuck, bros. Because 9 times out of 10, those same players are shielded 24/7. Well, I want to get to a big enough might that I can't be soloed. Motherfucker, you got to go past 250 million to get not soloed, because people like Bren Chong exist, and they will solo you down, bro. They will do it. They will burn you at 200 million. And so if you're like 80 million, 90 million, and you're like, well, if I'm just over 80 or 90 million, 100, they're not going to... Stop with the bullshit, all right? Do yourself a favor and quit fucking everybody else over in your entire guild, you fucking moocher, all right? But I know there's going to be that one white knight that says, but I'm different, I promise. Whatever, bro. I don't know who you're trying to protect. I don't know who you're trying to preach to. Not me, all right? I could care less, right? Number 4, you guys need to remember the person taking the absolute most, like, threat and danger is actually the guy leading the rally. That literally means that either the target they're trying to attack is either too large or is a trap or, you know, they have a chance of losing their leader. And even then, on a rally, bros, you think you can hit a 300 million might target on a rally and not lose your leader? Letting you know, it's very possible, especially if they're a fucking rally trap. Like, those exist. Those guys are around 150 to 200 million might. They eat rallies, bro, the entire rally, because they're all tier 1 troops. You know, having, you know, I don't know, like 70 million T1 troops will eat a rally. I don't give a fuck who's leading that rally. It'll eat the entire rally, bros, and you'll lose your leader. Like, those things exist. So, guys, again, support the rally leaders. They are the guys that are helping your guild out the most, and they are also taking the most risk. They are usually also the ones spending the most amount of gems to make everything happen, guys. So do yourself a favor and show some camaraderie, right? Quit putting your head in the hole, take it out, and then show these guys that you're not pussy to fight, right? Because that happens way too much. They're just like, oh, they're bigger might, we can't do it. Also, remember, T4 research is fucking T4 research unless they have these researches down here at the fucking bottom, bro. These guys right here and these guys right here. The only difference matters is gear and heroes. So if, let's just hypothetically say, right? Just, you know, hypothetically say, we've got Wingnut leading a rally, okay? This is Wingnut's gear. His gear is not that much different from KSA's rally gear, and it's not that much different from Pat Gore's rally gear, and it's not much different from Big Mac's either, or Neural's, to be honest with you guys. They're all very similar in gear, right? It doesn't matter who's actually leading the rally. All their gear is very similar to one another, and the losses / kills are going to be very minimal. I understand a lot of guys do not want to rally unless they get their big 1 billion might player who's got all gold gear and all gold jewels, yada, 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 right? I get it. Quit being fucking pussy, all right? And join the rallies. Literally, join the rallies. Because when you guys burn those high might targets or those high dollar targets or those high value, whatever you want to call it, right? The enemy, they're gonna back the fuck up, bro. They're not gonna mess the fight. They're gonna mess with you, all right? They're just not. All right, guys. You don't need a strategy. You guys need to run drills, okay? Unity is what's going to get you guys to the up and up. When you guys are fucking scared and pussy, and you guys have too many moochers. What do you guys even need a strategy for? It's not going to help you. I could tell you the absolute best way to down a billion might player, but it doesn't do you any good unless you're unified in the process, right? Always remember that, guys. Also, one thing I will discuss about this is the T4 pipelines or pipelines to boost players. That shit is an amazing idea in theory, but it really does promote way too much mooching, first off, and promotes way too much non-combatants. And what I mean by that is everybody sends this guy all these resources and all these speed ups, and then that player is just not in the fight for a long time. Now, it's different if they're constantly fighting and they're always trying to do better for the guild. Bro, support the fuck out of those players because they're spending a lot of fucking cash to protect your asses, right? Or to give you guys more excitement or more of a show or whatever, right? But lately, what you see is those guys, like, they'll send, they'll send me hella speed ups and hella gold and all that shit, and I'll stay under a bubble for 30 fucking days, bro, until it's my turn again, right? And so you guys need to not dupe yourselves into believing that the T4 pipeline or any of the pipelines are actually doing you guys a lot of good. Yeah, it does good to a certain degree, but realistically, it really promotes non-combatants and a lot of mooching because a lot of guys, they'll just say, well, as long as we wait out long enough, we'll get her done, right? We'll get her done, all I gotta do is wait another month and, I'll be almost T4. I get it, bro. I get it. People don't want to spend as much as they should, but it also hurts your guild in the long run. So if you have a lot of those players out there that are just non-combatants, do you guys have a T4 pipeline? If so, how about shutting it down for a couple of weeks and then seeing who's actually willing to fight and who isn't? And you guys, if you're in a situation where you guys are, when your fucking face is to the ground because somebody's bigger than you or whatever the case may be, maybe you guys need to start practicing, showing that you guys got some spunk and not just cowering behind a shield and then supporting one or two players or whatever, because that's a really long process, guys. You're looking at months and months. And by the time you ever actually get any results, those guys are either out of your guild or they're whatever the case may be, right? So just take the advice, okay? I know a lot of you guys are going to be like, but I defend my guys and I'm in the T4. I don't fucking care, all right? I don't care. Preach to somebody else, all right? You sound like you're defending yourself. Why would you be defending yourself? That's all I'm trying to say here, guys. Right? So, it kind of brings me to my next point, man. Y'all need to get rid of your might climbers, right? And what does a might climber mean? So, let me go ahead. I'll point out one or two of them in this guild, right? These are the guys that say, hey, rally right now. Rally right now. And then you go to your roster, rally starts, and then you see that they logged off like a minute or two, like literally after you check the roster. And you're like, well, okay, it could be just a coincidence, right? It could be just a coincidence, right? Sure, of course it could be. But if I call for a rally and I notice you're constantly logging off 1 or 2 minutes before or after I call the rally, you're probably going to get your ass fucking G kicked, right? I wouldn't care because it tells me that you have no interest in supporting the guild. Rallies are a really big thing in this game, and a lot of guilds could be so much more successful by having a unified front to a rally, bro. Even if your guild takes losses, bro, I have never been in a guild that I would not zero the fuck out of myself to get somebody's leader back if it was a possibility. If the enemy guild's reinforcing and all we're doing is smoking them and that's it, bro, I'll hit it again. I'll hit it again. I'll send infantry. I'll send all my fucking infantry troops out, bro. That brings me to my next point. Just don't send just ranged units because you think they're going to go, not get hurt, bro. I will purposely change the formation up to a fucking ranged phalanx or ranged wedge just so you lose troops, just so you learn your lesson. When I call for a certain type of troop, like when I call for a certain ratio of troops, bros, send those troops. It's so important that you guys do because you guys end up causing losses to everybody else who followed the directions, right? Quit being pussy. That's all I'm trying to say here. And so the only way you would keep a might climber around is if they're just dumping a ton of cash in the game and showering your guild with gold boxes. At that point, then sure, it's more beneficial to keep them in because then your fighters actually get a chance to actually get more resources, more speed ups, more whatever they need, right? More gems to build troops, whatever the case is, right? But 9 times out of 10, might climbers are pretty fucking useless. And those are the first people that cause a lot of drama or to whine and cry and say, well, I can't do that. I have financial issues. Even though they're over fucking 170 million might. I don't know who you're talking to, bro. I really don't know. But anyways, and last but not least, guys, if you are under a motherfucking shield and it's wartime and you guys are fighting your asses off and you got fighters and non-fighters, bro, send resources. Right? It doesn't matter if it's a fucking long-ass march away. Like, it doesn't matter, bro. It should not matter how far away your dudes are. Like Gallant, right? We'll go to Gallant right now. Like, bam. So send him resources. Bro, he's getting panned down. Oh, my army limits reach. But bro, send him resources. It doesn't matter if he's so far away and he's going to receive it 20 minutes down the line. Chances are he's probably going to relocate away sometime soon and he'll get those resources instantly, okay? Also, there's so many people that sit under a bubble 24/7 like that have like 70,000 gems just sitting because they're saving and might climbing, to get to like a higher level battle hall or something, bro. Don't be fucking stingy. Don't be selfish, bro. Send relocators to those guys that are fighting if they need them. Why? Because they're covering your bacon at that time, right? And I'm telling you guys right now, if your guild starts to work like that together, you guys are going to be a force to be reckoned with. Nobody's going to want to leave your guild either. They're always going to be like, bro, yeah, I want to join that guild because they actually throw down for each other, right? There's not a lot of guilds that do that. This game is all about me, 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 me. What can you do for me, 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 me? And shit's annoying. It really is, right? And it really, really does hurt your guild in the long run when you guys don't fight as one team. And on that note, though, guys, I'm probably sure I forgot some stuff. Also, it's really good to have multiple banks, not just one. Have like 3 of them because one player cannot be on 24/7. And even if the account's shared amongst other players, for some reason, any guild I've ever been in, except for like 1 or 2, if they had a bank and if I ever needed resources for some shit, right, like troops or whatever, right, they've never been on and they'll never send me resources, bro. And so maybe they only do it to a certain few people they'll send resources to, or maybe they're instructed to. I really don't fucking know. But do yourselves a favor. Have like 3 or 4 banks because all the successful guilds like JVT and M44 and shit, bro, they have like, they have their personal banks, but still, they have multiple people being a bank, and so they can send resources to themselves anytime they actually need it. But on that note, though, guys, y'all know what I'm talking about, though. Love, peace, and chicken grease. Be safe. Quit being a fucking pussy and stingy with your damn troops, bros. And on that note, stay classy.